Big Daddy made the right call there.
Looks like he did.
Patrick Mahomes always makes it look so easy, you guys. How is anybody left open when you got Patrick Mahomes? I don't know.
Very open indeed.
Very well done, Kansas City Chiefs. We welcome you to CBS This Morning. We have a big announcement on the vaccine front. We'll talk to Dr. Ashish Jha on that in just a moment. But right now, we want to start with millions of Americans going to extraordinary lengths to celebrate Thanksgiving, and many are waiting in lines for hours. Here's a look at this huge line for testing outside Denver. People hope they will be safer with relatives if they test negatives, but the experts say that is not a sure thing. There are also massive lines for giveaways at food banks, and we're seeing scenes like this play out nationwide.
And despite the pandemic, airports are still packed as millions take flights. That's despite dire warnings from the health experts. People could unknowingly infect their loved ones over the holiday. Kris Van Cleave is at Reagan National Airport outside Washington. Kris, good morning.
Well, good morning. On the same day the CDC told Americans not to travel, that very morning, Southwest's CEO told us while the airline was seeing an increase in cancellations, it was being outpaced by new bookings. You can look around Reagan National Airport, you can see it is not the holiday season we're used to. They expect travel, air travel in particular, to be down 50 to 60%, but that still means millions of people are going to fly or drive to see relatives this Thanksgiving, and that has health experts very worried about the potential of a deadly COVID surge just in time for Christmas. From packed gates at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport.
This feels dangerous.
To long lines at LAX. And this traffic at Chicago O'Hare. Americans are on the move, COVID or not.
I'm like, there's a lot more people here than I thought would be here.
More than 1 million people were screened at TSA checkpoints on Friday, nearly 1 million more on Saturday, despite the CDC urging Americans not to travel for the Thanksgiving holiday.
It's a family necessity trip, so I take the necessary precautions.
AAA estimates up to 50 million Americans will travel for Thanksgiving, down from last year. But the holiday comes as the U.S. sets daily records for coronavirus cases. For some, that means getting COVID tests before spending time with their loved ones.
I'm probably going to get tested again once I get back, so to make sure I'm good.
But experts warn testing could provide a false sense of security because of COVID's up to 14-day incubation period. 2 or 3 days after a negative test, you could become contagious even before showing symptoms. That's why Neil Siegel, a public health professor, canceled his Thanksgiving plans.
When I was weighing the option to travel back to California to see my parents, both of whom are elderly and have chronic health conditions, I realized that the potential risk that I posed to them in traveling was probably too great. And of course, I wouldn't really be able to live with myself if I knew that I brought COVID-19 into their home.
And new this morning, United Airlines is announcing it's expanding its COVID testing efforts to its Houston hub. It will offer mail-in COVID tests to passengers flying to 10 Caribbean and Latin American countries. That's in addition to the testing efforts that United has rolled out in New York and San Francisco. Tony?
All right, Kris, thank you very much.